This is your WGBW Daily News Roundup for the Talk of Green Bay, 97.9 FM and 1590 AM.
Civic Media News, I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Body parts are turning up around Milwaukee County. A human leg was found at a park in Cudahy last week. Another body part was found in Milwaukee a few days later. The family of a missing teenager says it wants answers. Authorities can't confirm a connection, but they have brought in someone for questioning. President Biden says his new student loan forgiveness plan will boost the economy by canceling up to $20,000 of interest for millions of Americans who can prove hardship cases.
By freeing millions of Americans from this crushing debt of student debt, it means they can finally get on with their lives instead of their lives being put on hold.
Biden unveiled the plan in Madison yesterday. Republicans like Congressman Brian Stiles say it does nothing to lower the rising cost of college.
The burden needs to be on administrators to control the cost of the educational product in the first place. This is why this program is proposed by the president is so frustrating. It does nothing to solve the underlying problem.
Biden says his plan would boost the economy by freeing up millions of Americans burdened by debt. Republicans call the plan a desperate attempt to buy votes. Governor Evers is vetoing a Republican bill that would have let 14 and 15-year-olds in Wisconsin work without getting a state permit or their parents' permission. Evers says putting more kids to work is not a serious solution to Wisconsin's worker shortage. Wisconsin's longest-serving state senator is calling it quits. Republican Rob Coles of Green Bay says he'll retire instead of run for re-election now that his newly redrawn district is more favorable to Democrats. Coles is 73 years old. He was first elected to the Senate in 1987 after 4 years in the Assembly. Spring planting is in full swing, and state troopers are reminding drivers to be safe and share the road. The State Patrol says you should scan the road ahead and be ready to slow down when you see slow-moving farm vehicles. State troopers count more than 2,000 crashes involving farm vehicles in Wisconsin in the last 5 years. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Tony Weed has thrown his hat into the ring for the 8th Congressional District in Wisconsin. The former owner of 6 Dino Stop convenience and gas stores from Green Bay is being endorsed by former President Donald Trump. Fellow Republicans State Senator Andre Jacques of De Pere and State Senator Roger Roth of Appleton are running for the seat, as is Democrat OBGYN Kristen Lyerly from Ledgeview. The seat is being vacated by Mike Gallagher. The longest-serving incumbent in the Wisconsin legislature has decided to retire rather than to run for Wisconsin's newly redrawn districts. Republican Senator Rob Cowles announced his retirement Monday. He was elected to the Wisconsin Assembly in 1982, resigned that position in 1987 when he won a special election to the Senate. Cowles, who represents Senate District 2, was moved into Senate District 30 when the maps were redrawn, with fellow Republican Senators Eric Wimberger and Andre Jacques. A body found in Lake Butamore near the Wyowash Trail Saturday evening is identified as 27-year-old Aaron Daly. Daly was reported missing on January 2nd and reportedly had not been seen since Christmas Eve. Winnebago County Sheriffs and Oshkosh Police are working together to investigate the case. Anyone with information on Daly's death or disappearance is asked to call 920-236-5723. Driving down a highway or rural road can be challenging during planting season. The Wisconsin State Patrol and DOT are reminding drivers and farm vehicle operators to be patient and safe when sharing the road. In the past 5 years, there have been more than 2,000 crashes involving farm vehicles. Farm equipment is often slow, bulky, and more difficult to maneuver. Drivers of traditional vehicles are urged to be patient and cautious when legally passing slower farm vehicles. The city of Neenah has struck a deal to bring a $24 million warehouse and distribution center to the South Park Industrial Center. The 600,000 square foot development will be built by Checkers Logistics. City officials say the new development will create around 50 new jobs. The sale of 33 acres of land to Checkers Logistics is expected to be completed by June 1st. And that's what you need to know. I'm Lisa Hale, WGBW News.
It's the Bucks and the Celtics. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. This one's been circled on the schedule for months. The Bucks hosting the number one seed in the conference, the Celtics, tonight at Fiserv Forum. The Bucks trying to snap that 4-game losing streak at home and overcome injuries, like Chris Middleton having a tooth knocked out Sunday night against the Knicks. Doc Rivers.
And Chris, was great to begin in the game. He was absolutely fantastic. You just feel bad for him. The guy can't catch a break, What's the odds of you getting you're going to a game, okay, tonight it'll be my tooth getting knocked out. He's having one of those seasons. Just tough luck.
Baseball, the Brewers taking on the Reds again in Cincinnati after losing the opener last night 10-8. Milwaukee committing 4 errors.
There's a million things we could have done better. But it's part of it. You don't always play great defense. This was a draining game, but we battled back, and there's a lot to be proud of.
That's Brewers manager Pat Murphy. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Thanks to whiskey, jazz, dive bars, swanky cars, and black and white, Colin Farrell is channeling his inner Humphrey Bogart in the new series, Sugar. Collider reports that the detective show has elements of film noir throughout. The cast is rounded out by Perry Mason's Matthew Rhys and Clive Owen. Sugar is now available to stream on Apple. New episodes drop on Friday nights. Happier Gilmore? Adam Sandler fans will be glad to know there is a sequel in the works. Drew Barrymore spilled the beans, or the tea, or your food of choice on her talk show, saying that Sandler was working on a script for Happy Gilmore 2. According to the New York Post, Barrymore told her studio audience that there is a process and that the process is in the process. Actor Chris McDonald also confirmed as much, saying that Sandler let him have a peek at the first draft of the script to Happy 2. Given Bob Barker's passing, it remains to be seen which elderly game show host Sandler will throw hands with in the sequel. Kristen Wiig joined an exclusive club over the weekend. She is now in the Five Timers Club when it comes to hosting Saturday Night Live. The former SNL cast member was joined by other fellow Five Timers who all wore Five-Timer jackets, including Matt Damon, Paul Rudd, and Ryan Gosling. Altogether, there are 25 SNL Five Timers, including Tom Hanks and Bill Murray. Congratulations, Kristen. Sunday night was the last episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and creator Larry David, as expected, weighed in on why the show is ending after 12 seasons and 25 years. David said he is too old to be on camera every week and to act the way he does, calling it insane and saying he cannot go into his 80s behaving like that. Fans might disagree with David, who is the real-life inspiration for the George Costanza character on Seinfeld, which he also co-created with Jerry Seinfeld. The famous curmudgeon also admitted to being just a shred sentimental in saying goodbye. Country music artist Beyonce is on a roll. Her album Cowboy Carter is #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Beyonce's album is also #1 on the country charts, and that is the first time that it's ever happened for a black female artist. Cowboy Carter showcases lots of collaborators with Beyonce, including Willie Nelson, Miley Cyrus, Post Malone, and Dolly Parton. Last week's box office saw a 2-time champ in Godzilla x Kong. The new Empire pulled in $32 million at the box office over the weekend on almost 4,000 screens nationwide. The Warner Brothers film held off a couple of horror film challengers in Monkey Man, which pulled in $10 million, and The First Omen, which came in at number 4 with just over $8 million. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire came in third with $9 million. The strong showing at the box office for Godzilla Kong guarantees many similar films to come. Thanks a lot, moviegoers. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, every night between 7 and 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
A mix of clouds and sunshine today. We'll get to 58 for a high this afternoon. The wind out of the west at 5 to 15. Tonight it'll be clear with a low of 39. Tomorrow, sunshine in the morning. A few more clouds in the afternoon with a high of 68. It's going to be cloudy, showery, and a bit cooler Thursday with a high near 60. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Current temperature 44.
That's your WGBW Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at WGBW.FM.